Hey all, Mukro here. I wanted to make a video for the future units, but Shift Up decided to release the dev notes, which we get time to time, and they are usually really informative to non-existent. So this is a weird one, I think. Like, it is good news and bad news mixed together, and they are finally talking about union raids, which is great. Because Union Raid, as they say in this note as well, I'm going to skip the first part, but I will start with the Union Raid revamp part. So I'm not going to read one to one, you can read at the end of the day. I'm just going to give my thoughts to what they wrote generally and sorta explain why they do this, but at the same time why they sometimes shouldn't do these to a point. Most of them are good changes. Some of them are questionable, but I'm fine with. Let's go one by one though. So for Union Raid, they want to split it to two, and they want to split casuals from competitives, which is good, I think. Because right now, Union Raid is basically a nothing burger usually. Unless you're extremely competitive and you want to reach top 100 maybe to 200-ish. If you want to reach to top 100 or like few percents. So platinum to diamond to higher. But even with that, we usually get platinum because we didn't really care about it. And we didn't really have active members back then. We are getting more active and more active each day. So we were trying to push higher and higher, but the more you push, the more you realize these whale unions are pushing it so damn hard. They are clearing it around 30 minutes these days, maybe less than 30 minutes is going to be soon. And they're basically cheesing the server calculations, and they cheese how the server sees the time and whatnot, so they manage it to clear it way faster than anyone else. This way, this has been known for a long time at this point. Just Shift Up didn't do anything about it because people were not competitive or not interested in the game as much. And now, since people are realizing, oh god, I have to wake up at for example, Europeans has to wake up at around 3, 4, 5, 6 a.m. And I ain't waking up at 5 p.m. to clear a union raid. Americans are way ahead of the European part, without a joke, because for them it is around night. Well, I say around night, I mean when they wake up or stuff like that, some around time. Sorry, European, and translated to European, it is basically got that. But the Americans are usually better, their time, well, it's up to where they live obviously, but the time of the union raid is way better for them. So Europeans are at disadvantage at that point immediately, unless they want to wake up at 4 a.m. Which, yeah, it's one day in the month, but do you really want to? I don't. We usually clear day 1 or usually day 2 when the server resets in the first hour or so. But we were doing day 1 clears way more. But this is a good change, I think. But at the end of the day, them splitting, they also mentioned that the time limit part and how fast you clear is really annoying for people. Yes, it is. This is exactly the reason that people don't really care about Union Raid. They just want to clear it at some point and get some rewards. And being extremely competitive doesn't really help you. You gain 4 to 6 more batteries if you want to push really high. So it is not that great. If this split is going to be the exact same thing, which I highly doubt, but this is Shift Up, it might happen. This is potentially splitting to be elemental focused version of Union Raid. So normal 1 is going to be most likely the half length or similar length, but it should be shorter, I think. And when you clear it as your union, you will go to the hard stage, right? So hard stage, like they say, is going to be the next day. And since they specifically say they want union members to collaborate, there's a really good chance that they will make like, here you go, there's all of the bosses at level 10 or whatever. They have unlimited HP. 3 people go and they do the highest damage they can. Or like, everyone joins, we calculate the top 3. But like, if you are in a top 3, you are limited. Something, I don't know. I think there's like, they will make us go to like 3 each to a boss, or maybe more bosses, so everyone participates. But like, if I wonder if they want to keep the 20 people mark for soloing the well, not soloing, but like, since like we have 32 members limit, and 20-ish or so is enough to clear the whole raid if you have day 1 players, whales, and what so on. I wonder if they want to keep that number, because if they will increase it, this is basically going to mean they're either casual unions or competitive unions, which would be annoying to some bunch. I would say it would be annoying for my union as well, because there are people that don't really want to push too hard and be as effective as the rest of us. So like, that would be like half of us, and I'm in the competitive bunch. I would just, if needed to be, I would wake up slightly earlier, but like, I would also say this is bullshit at the same time. But like, I'm fine. I have elemental specialist. I am a general. I already built my units for general purpose. So like, I have high elementals for each DPS types, each elements, I mean. So I'm safe. I have high elementals for every element. No problems. I have few of them as well. So again, I'm solo raid viable. And there's like, what, at the end of the day, 3% or so of the player base is solo raid available comps. Because like, after 3%, it becomes really competitive, right? So like, I am usually at around 3% range, like 3.21, 3.50, 3.60, 2.90, stuff like that. So I'm around that range, and like, I see my comps as like decent. And imagine rest of the player base, either they don't care, which also would put them in the casual part, and either they have bad rolls, they couldn't get elemental rolls, something like that, right? So like, they're limiting this way more than potentially it should be, but I think this is for the good of the game, so we'll see. I hope they at least adjust it at some points so it becomes better, but we will see. And Champion Arena, I am not really looking forward to this, because Champion Arena has been in development for ages, and I don't like PvP in this game. But from reading everything, I can have a guess of what's going to happen. So, firstly, they say Champion Arena content is designed for the top ranked commanders in Special Arena, so whales. But is this going to be only accessible to them, or can everyone access to it? I think everyone going to be able to access the Champion Arena, but what they are trying to say is this mode is for people who care about PvP comps and know how to make them. So if you're copying the comps from internet or from your friend or from the server whale that is at rank 1, you're not going to make it to this mode. Like, you won't enjoy this mode and you won't understand this mode. This mode is not for you. I think this is what they're trying to say here, but this is a bad way to communicate this. Well, there is also the English translation part. So localization translation might be the reasoning here, but this mode probably is going to give good chunk of rewards if you want to understand it, that is. And I think PvP in Nikke is extremely weird. I ain't going to lie, it is not an easy thing to understand. I tried, I couldn't understand it at all. I understand the concepts of it, but like if you would tell me to make a comp, I wouldn't. PvE is my generality, not this. So PvE is my specialty, not this, sadly. And Special Arena is pretty good as well for rewards. So I don't know, man. I would really love to understand PvP in this game and have better units, but at the same time, if you're unlucky and if you have so many veils in your bracket, you're not going to do it anyways, so doesn't really matter, right? I have a decent bunch of them, so like top 10 is out of question for me. I usually am around like 20 to 30, which is probably pretty bad, but still, I'm there just for the levels. Just cause of my levels, I mean. I'm there just cause of my levels, nothing else. So, can't really do anything to it. I tried a bit, but like, it doesn't really work out for me. And they're delaying it again, by the way. So, yeah. Great, isn't it? So, the third page. Other content updates. So they're going to update co-op, which is good. Because I think co-op is in a pretty annoying state right now. Because they released units that are spot dependent, such as Rogue, Rouge. Crown, Naga is also in the same bracket, because like Crown has to be at the left side, Naga has to be at the right side. And these are not high investment dependent units, so they're sort of fine, but Dole is really important in co-op, so you cannot really ask everyone to have a Crown Dole if your union is not competitive, or if you don't play with Veil randoms, or you do not ask for people to carry you. It is not shitting on anyone or anything, it's just a fact. Like, if you do not have a crown with a doll at level 15 at the left side, you're going to do less damage. That's just how it is. And they're looking to change this. Hopefully, I would really love to see it, because let me swap places with people. It's as simple as that. I just want that. And potentially maybe like 60 FPS servers. Oh, one thing though. When I mentioned servers, I remember I skipped through one thing. Apparently Champion Arena is going to be live. It's going to be live PvP to a point. Because like they mentioned servers. And they tested the servers and we saw that there's delay and whatnot. So there's that. We will see how it's going to turn out. Like, I have no clue what they will do. Can guess, but like that guess would be empty, so I don't really want to talk about it. They also say they will streamline Simulation Room and Solar Raid daily missions, which is good because Simulation Room is a joke right now, and anomaly investigations as well, or investigations in general, they're a total joke. They're really annoying. People don't really want to do them anymore, but we like to see the reward pop up and like say like, you got 2 more gems from Kraken, but like you have to kill Kraken every day, and it is not fast as before, since like you actually have to play the game. I'm happy, but a lot of people are not, so it's gonna change, and I think it's fine. I think sweep would be good at this point, because even though I'm playing this game for 1.5 years, I am sort of getting tired as well of killing Kraken again and again, doing my Simulation Room and spamming clicks non-stop until I finish the stages and see the final boss and one tap it anyways. So I hope they add auto clear or sweep to those, specifically sim room, because even the high level version of the sim room is generally a joke. It is not really that difficult unless game tells you to die. That's usually how it goes. Like, I cleared 25, no problems, and I'm pretty sure I can clear higher with buffs. So, yeah. I don't know. That sim room is not good though. I'm glad they're adjusting stuff and making stuff easier. So for the collabs, I think Nikke has a really bad track record with collabs. I didn't like any of the collabs so far. I guess I could say that. And for collabs, they do a split. So first half of the year, they go with a minor collab, such as Chainsaw Man, ReZero. These are minor collabs. They were not good. There's not many resources for them. So like, they look bad, they look empty, or at some points, heck, they even recycle models for ReZero gacha skin for Emilia. So, you know, but like, I think everyone knew that ReZero collab was rushed and it was not really intended. It looks like something happened and they didn't really have time, so they had to do it that way. It at least feels like that. If it wasn't their intention, that feels like that at least. But Nier and Eva was fine to interesting. I think at least they tried stuff, but people like Nier. I think Nier was a fine collab. Story was nothing burger, but it is better than the other two. And Eva collab, I didn't really care about it personally. I have every unit. At least units look fine. Their models, their animations, they're fine. They're not great, but they're fine. So I at least prefer a fine collab than a really bad one. I wish they make better collabs, because this is not working out. And they mentioned this because people are concerned or they're not making enough money as they expected. So they're just talking about this right now, and like, other collabs soon. It's going to be in few months. It's going to be potentially be a minor collab again. So it wouldn't really surprise me, by the way, if it was Stellar Blade or they want to make it a major collab and release it after summer banners. So yeah, while mentioning summer banners, people have been scared because they are not rerunning characters, and I agree, because at Halfani, when Crown released, they didn't rerun Doro, and now they didn't rerun Red Hood. And now, when people check the banners, there's no Winter Rupee and Winter Anne. So yeah, fun times. And they mentioned here. So it was, I think, obvious that they want to rerun limiteds, but Pilgrim banners are a bit iffy, right? And they have to do reruns, I think. They're releasing so many characters. Either they release them for nothing, so like, it's just a empty month, they release 2 units, they do jack shit, and people either get them or skip them and wait for the better unit, or just get them, enjoy them even though they're bad. So I think they need to make rerun months to a point, or like, I don't know, they really need to do something about it, because like, there are so many units right now, even though you can get it from normal banner or like with molds, it's not enough. Like, even with friendship, even though friendship is pretty generous, I think, like, because like, in other games you cannot get anything with friendship points, so like, at least we can get SSRs. I got few of them that I really want, units that I really wanted, I mean, from friendship banners. I didn't have Ein for the longest time. I got Ein the other day, so I can finally use Ein. Since there's a true damage meta, or like true damage comp coming, Ein is going to be important at the end of the day. So regarding Rupee and On, so they are changing or adding a system for reruns, or at least the limited reruns for winter and summer. So they say first rerun is going to be seasonal limited characters will have their first rerun 1 year after their initial release, which should have been the way, which how it happened for summer units. Subsequent reruns will plan to provide additional opportunities to obtain these characters through continuous reruns. So this is either going to be in the same seasonal event, or this is going to be through the year. I think through the year is fine, because if I really want to skip a banner, for example, in 2 months, let's say, and if they say, yeah, there is also a rerun of this character, of a limited that was in winter, I might consider them. Though, personally, I'm not getting Rupiana. They're pretty bad. They're out of meta, and when they released, they were really strong, yeah. But not anymore, so I'm gonna skip them either way. But I'm pretty sure people want them, so it's good for them. So they also talk about second anniversary update. I will TLDR this pretty quickly. They somehow they fucked it up. So I mean, they failed miserably, right? Because like they had to cancel Solo Raid 3 times. Cinderella was bugged for 2 weeks, and they couldn't fix it at all at some point. They had to cancel Solo Raid just cause of Cinderella as well. They had to cancel Solo Raid for when you pause the first phase, like when you paused when the boss was going to skip to the second phase, you were making it stick to this first phase instead of going to the second phase. So like people who figured this out was dealing way more damage than everyone else, and people didn't like the minigame as well, which I didn't even finish it this time around because it was so annoying and it was so much time consuming. I just didn't even play it after some point because it was so annoying. But I think the biggest of all is how weird, let's say, I'm not gonna say bad, I don't really want to use emotional words here, how weird Cinderella's mechanics and design as, you know, weapons compared to her story counterpart. So we know Cinderella is shooting lasers, shooting a bunch of them, but the gameplay version is not really representative of her story version. Like Red Hood is a good story representative. Every other pilgrim is a good one, but Cinderella is very lacking compared to them. So I'm happy they at least mentioned that it didn't really work out as they wanted to be. But it's not like they're going to change Cinderella, so yeah, we have to live with it, I guess. I hope the future pilgrims are not going to be this way. I hope whatever they did, whatever happened while they were developing the second anniversary, doesn't happen again. Because I was really down when this happened. I didn't really enjoy second anniversary at all. And I didn't even talk with my union, I think, at that point. Like, because I was so bummed out. I was waiting for this event for so long. I had so much resources. I had 1.2k golden tickets, and like I was going with strong 50k gems. At some point, then I saw Quincy, then I dumped some gems to it, but like I had like 30k or so when I was going to the second anniversary, and I had like 2k SSR molds. So I got really bored after some point and used my SSR molds. I have none at this point, which is cool though. I got some units that I wanted, so that's good, and some duplicates as well, so that's great. I bummed out about not getting the units specifically what I wanted, but like it's fine, it's whatever. So yeah, and apparently people felt the same way. People maybe not bad as me, because like I was really waiting for second anniversary and what they were going to expand on, and like I was really disappointed when I saw the story and whatnot. So they compensated, apologized with gems and tickets and some Solo Raid rewards, half of the Solo Raid rewards, I think, something like that. Yeah, that's what happened. That's why we got gems the other day. So yeah, let's go back to Union Raid for a second. I wanna mention one more thing. I really wonder how the teams are going to get affected right now. So, why I say this is simply because we have 3 to 4 teams for each element, plus the generalist teams, such as Red Hood with Pierce, Ein, and potential Pilgrim coming soon, True Damage. So these are outliers, right? And the shotgun team, obviously. They do good damage no matter what. So, how they will handle the element situation here? Because, for example, Iron is lacking, and I think next DPS is going to be Iron anyways. Iron is lacking the DPS. We have Laplace, Red Hood. I'm not counting Maxwell as a DPS, sorry. Snow White is extremely situational and doesn't work 99% of the time. Or like she doesn't deal damage as much as the other DPSs, so she's out. So I think next Pilgrim is going to be Iron, just because of this. And Electric is fine. Fire is fine now. Water is going to be fine. Wind is questionable at the moment, but we should get another wind DPS soon. TM. We will see. I don't know. We are lacking wind DPS though. We have 2 of them. That is good. And this is potentially why they're not really releasing wind solo raids. But there's no DPS for it. There's only SPS and Summer Sakura. So they have to do something about it. And the next one is going to be either Iron, I'm pretty sure it's going to be Iron, or Wind. And I will talk about it when I want to talk about True Damage, which is soon, by the way, again. I want to make a good resource for it. Like explain why this is happening, why potential this is happening, and how Shift Up handles their releases for outlier teams. Because like we had this with shotgun teams. And they actually showcase us what's going to release and the important points of release schedules, such as the January Pilgrim banner, half anniversary banner, anniversary banner. Well, Crown was a weird one. I didn't expect Crown at all as a buffer, that is. We usually get DPSs, so I'm just used to getting DPSs. So Crown was a weird one for me. So yeah, that's what I gotta say. The next one is, at this point, is genuinely going to be Guillotine video. It's soon, so I'm going to make a ZZZ video after this potentially, since like 1.4 stream happened. I wanna make a small video for it, like it's going to be like 5 to 10 minutes at max. So yeah, thanks for watching. If you like the video, please like, and if you want to mention that I didn't mention, please comment. See you in the next one.